The bike ride is for ordinary human beings who want to do something really extraordinary.
When I think about the journey over the 20 years, I think, I'm incredibly rich in my life because of the experiences and the people I've shared the journey with.
This adventure has pulled my heartstrings in more ways than I ever have been challenged, and it was amazing. What more can you say?
And that's what this is all about. We'll leave so much closer to each other, but we'll be all over the world, but this bond will never break. This is what this group's about. Let's kick its ass. 1, 2, 3, for the kids!
Tens of millions of tons of waves started at speeds of as much as 500 miles an hour. Nothing and no one can stand against them.
I work in the forensic area. There was the Boxing Day tsunami where there was somewhere between 250 and 300,000 people who were dying. In Thailand, there was 5,395 bodies recovered. And I would spend several months in Thailand, leading both the Australian and the international teams in the identification of the bodies and the repatriation throughout the world. It was towards the end of my tours I met a group of kids living in a tent in the grounds of the temple. I realised that I couldn't change what had happened for these kids who had all lost their parents, lost their home and lost their families, but it felt within my capacity to change what happened next for them. So I returned to Australia after my last rotation there with the vision of creating support to build these kids a home. And that was the genesis and the start of Hands. The goal in the early days was to provide a home for the kids, as simple as that. And it was really only when I went over for the opening of the home that we'd built that I realised that the job hadn't finished, it had in fact just started. Because naively I thought that building the home for the kids would solve their problems, and I thought, well, who provides the funding now that the home is built? Who looks after the kids? Who provides the funding for the staff and for their growth? It was really that commitment after the opening of the home to help them into the future which brought about the position where we are today. We celebrate 20 years this year since the start of the charity. Brought about a lot of change for the communities in Thailand and of course the communities that are part of Hands here in Australia, New Zealand, and that come and join us in Thailand.
What roles do events like the charity rides play in sustaining the organisation?
So the charity rides would be about 75% of our funding. With the Hands model, we have corporate partnerships, we have corporate sponsors, and some very incredibly generous ones here in Australia. But our bike rides, which have been running since 2009, have been the largest source of income. Initially, the ride started as a one-off ride, January 2009. I think there was a group of 15 that set off on bikes and rode from Bangkok down to Khao Lak with a desire to raise $10,000 each for Hands. And that very quickly grew into, this incredible shared experience that becomes life-changing for people. And we had a number of people join that January ride who ran their own business communities and wanted to do that for their own community. And so it was, the Dale Beaumonts and the Steve Carrolls of the world that saw this as an opportunity to connect with their communities and created their own corporate ride experiences. And so from this very modest 15-person bike ride in 2009, we're now running 5 to 6 corporate rides a year. We're generating close to $1.5 million a year through these bike rides alone. And that is probably about 80% of our operating costs for a year. So it's a big part of what we do.
I first got involved with Hands back in 2012. I had known about Peter Baines and the amazing work that he was doing, and invited him to speak at one of my Business Blueprint conferences, and I was just mesmerized by the whole story of what had happened after the Boxing Day tsunami. And I was also very intrigued by the mission that he was on, which was to help the kids in Thailand. And about that same time, I was starting to think about my own giving. When I understood the story of how it started and also the integrity around where the money goes, I then decided to do the ride myself, and basically I've been hooked ever since. So now we've done 10 rides as a Blueprint group. We started back in 2013, and then we've done one almost every year since, apart from COVID, of course. And it's been an amazing partnership for over a decade now.
I collected $30,000 from an event that I'd organised back in 2019. I wanted to give it to charity. And Claire said, well, you need to meet my husband, Peter, and Peter will tell his story. And I met Peter, and I was just so blown away by Peter's story and Hands Across the Water that I decided to give him the cheque of 30 grand. But then I was challenged by a friend of mine from Ray White, Grant Turner, who said, look, I don't think you should just give Peter the cheque. What I think you should do is you should jump on a bike and join one of the Hands Across the Water rides and actually deliver the cheque. With the influence that I have in the real estate industry, what I decided to do was actually organise a real estate event, and I think we managed to get about 27 riders, and we delivered this $30,000 cheque to Mayfield at Home Hug. But the best bit was we also collected about $250,000 through that first ever ride. And that first ride has now grown to 8 rides, and you know, we're on the cusp of finishing ride number 8.
Okay, have we got everybody? One, two, three. Best Scottish accent. Let's hear it.
Well, seeing you lot, you got to listen to me.
Love it.
1, 2, 3 for the kids!
Because it's such a busy, stressful industry, real estate, I hope that it gives people from the real estate industry a time to reflect. I hope it gives them a time to learn. I hope it gives them a time to find perspective of things, what's important and what's not important. There's a number of riders over the years that I've just had great admiration for. I suppose the rider most recently that stood out for me was a guy called Jason Partridge from First National. And look, Jason won't mind me saying he's a big lad.
It was really tough for me because I didn't do a lot of prep. So I told everybody I was probably going to be the last one in every day, and that didn't bother me as long as I could make it.
He turned up, and I just knew that this was going to be one of the biggest challenges of his life, to move that body 500 kilometres. And do you know what? He pounded and pounded every pedal.
And unfortunately, up one of the hills, I went off the side and went down an embankment and injured my knee first day. So it was pretty gut-wrenching for me that I was out for a couple of legs in the day from that injury, but really try to support everybody else and try to get the experience there, celebrating everybody else's wins. And then the next day, the amount of support I got from the rest of the riders in the day was just phenomenal. And they pushed me and pushed me and pushed me, supported me, and ended up doing the whole day with an injured knee.
When he rode in to the applause and the cheering of all the other riders, you could just see the smile, you could just see his body language. He felt $1 million. And it's those moments that make the whole ride come together. And that's, you know, one of the great things about all of the Hands Across the Water rides.
There was a couple of times there, especially after the injury, and those real hard slogs where I thought, what am I doing? This is crazy.
There was definitely a few moments where I did question why I'd done it. Probably a little bit of guilt at times for being in that place. I'm a typical working mum, that mums always put themselves last usually.
But it really does make you appreciate your own kids, that you see these beautiful kids who are obviously being cared for.
Just thinking about that and thinking about, I'm here for a reason.
What got me through it was probably their support.
The support of the other bike riders just, it takes your mind off it, but it gives you something to drive for. They're here, they're supporting me, how can I let them down? It's easy to give up, but to make it through is something that you could really push yourself to achieve. There's definitely a lot of times I was thinking of giving up, and I thought, 5 more Ks and I'm done, that's it, I'm packing up. And luckily I got to the end of the 5 Ks and I said, I can do another 5. And it was just that extra 5.
One of the things in society is that we creep towards this level of comfort, and we don't do hard things, and society becomes increasingly the case where everything's catered for. If I could share one message for bike riders who are considering the ride, it's an experience you have to experience. And I think what the ride does is presents an opportunity for people to do something which is hard and which is bigger than them and bigger than what they're currently doing. And many people sign up to the ride for the first time believing that they're doing it in support of the charity, which it absolutely is the case. But it's our return riders who come back because of the benefits that they get from it.
Benefits actually start the moment someone makes a decision that they're actually going to do the bike ride, because by making that decision and committing, they're then also committing to getting fit in a training program to get themselves ready to do the bike ride. So there's huge benefits to people even before they go to Thailand. Some of my members that have done the ride have lost 5-10 kilos just in the lead up. They've made decisions around their kind of like health. The fundraising is also something that is challenging, but also gets you out of your comfort zone, helps you to talk to your clients, and just make sure clients are aware that you are doing something to give back and make a real difference. And you'll find a lot of clients, a lot of friends, family members just come out and help and support you.
The ultimate measure of success is that they go home and overwhelmingly it's been a positive experience, and they share that experience, whether they come back or not. But if they go home and they talk about this experience as something that they've grown from, it's left an indelible impression upon them, well, that's a good thing for us, because our success as a charity is creating meaningful experiences. It's not about relying on people donating because of guilt or pity. If we can return value to our riders and those that support us, then they're more likely to come back. So when they cross that finish line, when they see the kids, I hope that they arrive at the home and they feel like they're stepping into a place which is full of love and support for the kids.
Seeing where the money actually goes, it's a really wonderful feeling, and for me it's like food for the soul. When I do it, I just feel energized for months.
The friendship and what you learn and the perspective and the education and everything you get from the ride far outweighs the effort that you put in. And if we can continue that forever and a day, we should be able to get enough riders from the real estate industry to put their hand up and ride for hands across the water.
Throughout the ride, you typically will ride with somebody beside you or even just behind you, start to have a conversation, and you ask the why and the how and some of their background. And everybody on this ride they've all got a story. And with sharing stories, you naturally connect with people. I've done a few different fitness things or even other activities in my past, and I've never met a group of people that just connected, even though we are from so many different worlds.
Just meeting the people who are on an event like that, you just know that they're a wonderful human. They're there to support, they're there to give, they're there to serve, and they're there for each other.
What I've seen over the rides that I've done is this camaraderie, this sharing of ideas, not just on the ride, but for months and years after the ride. And for me, that is absolutely gold.
It's a real testament to the experience that we create at Hands. Now, I've done over 40 rides, and I see this with every group that we ride with. And whether you're riding 5 days together or 8 days together, the bonds that you create in those first couple of days, they're friendships that will last a lifetime.
Now I'm connected to these people forever. What we went through and the support that we gave each other, I know that I can call any of these people at any time with anything that I need to talk about, and they'll be there for me, and vice versa. So I think it's, it's a real relationship building experience with like-minded people who are there for the right reasons. That's probably the biggest takeout that I didn't expect, and probably the most valuable takeout for me is that, these people I'm connected to probably forever.
The emotional side of things are the last day. I started to get some messages of, we're so proud of you, the encouragement, that side of things really tested me. And I think when we were in the last half of day 5, and we were very fortunate enough to hear from the founder in a particular location where I suppose it all began, but to feel like we were about to see one of the homes.
It's a relief. You ride into the orphanage and all the kids are there, there's drums playing and musical instruments, and you see their excited faces.
And seeing the children on their bikes with shirts on, and they're out high-fiving.
They come over and give you a hug.
You step back and look at it and you see the kids, and they're all there playing just as normal kids, having a good time. And you realise that they don't have very much. But what they do have, they really appreciate. They do everything together as a team, knowing that without the charity support, those children that we met probably wouldn't be as surviving. That's a huge emotional connection. And for me, it was eye-opening of how important charities like this are to so many people, and really giving these kids a chance at life.
It was an unforgettable experience. I think that a ride like that just opens up a lot of things you may not have dealt with, and gives you the space to release it and focus on something that's bigger and greater than the stuff that you're holding on to. And I think that seeing those faces, knowing that you've had a part of improving that, the contribution that every rider puts in to that event, that is the reward at the end. It's worth it.
The reason that we've been successful and continue to be successful is a number of things. One is a transparency of how the dollars are used, where the dollars go.
I've been lucky enough to be at 4 of the homes now. I've been at one of them twice, and even the difference between one year and another, you can see where the money that we're giving them goes. The kids are all healthy, they're happy. Last year, the fish pond that they did and the way they were going to use it to not only provide for their own food, but to teach the kids about aquaculture and to make it a sustainable business.
They can see the kids, they can see those kids are going off to university and graduating, so there's an awareness of how the funds are used, because one thing is to raise the money, the second is to use those funds in an appropriate way. And I think the response from our donors would indicate that they're happy with how we use the funds.
Being involved in an organisation like Hands is a whole different ballgame when it's absolute trust you've got in that organisation, thousands of miles away to do the right things by the kids, knowing they've got additional income streams for their admin and that all the fundraising that you're doing goes directly to the kids, gives me the motivation to keep going.
I've met so many beautiful kids and young adults through Hands, and I'm proud. I'm proud of all of them. They are my kids to some extent. So we measure success at Hands not by the number of kids we feed, not by the number of kids at our homes. It's about the choices that the kids have when it's time to leave the homes. And the biggest measure of success for us is seeing those kids go on to do what they want to do, go on to achieve their dreams. So at Hands, we're creating more than just homes for the kids. So for us, it's about building bright futures. And if I think about bright futures, there's a number of kids that have come through our homes and have gone on to university and have gone on to do incredible things with their lives. But I think about the choices that we've been able to give our kids, and that's because of the support of our donors that we're able to provide these future pathways for them. One of the kids that comes to mind is Am. Anne grew up at Home Hugs, so she came into the home when she was 4 and grew up under the love and care of Mayfield, had everything that she needed to thrive. She went to school and she finished. We were very, very proud. And because of the, kids being home and requiring care at the home, she ended up working at Home Hub.
Seeing the kids as they move through our homes, as they graduate, those that decide to return to the homes and support the kids they've grown up with, it's incredibly fulfilling to see that full circle of the work that we've done, and I find that personally really rewarding.
As we started to evolve the business in Thailand, and we'd made the decision that we were going to start Hands Experiences Thailand, and so we created these internship programs. Because we were running a cycle and touring business, we said, okay, well, let's create an internship for a tour guide. And we took these ideas to Am and we said, if you enjoy the work, how about we put you through your tour guide training? And Am was really open to it and she said yes.
How does it feel to lead the group?
It is so excited and then a bit nervous because my first time to join, to have experience like tour guide.
The person that has really hit home with me on this ride is young Am, and she's led this ride that we're on.
I just want to support Hands and then to be a model for the kid, for the children, for next generation.
It's so bright for her. I see the happiness in her. I see her contribution back to those that ride. I think it's this wonderful example of success when you invest in the kids long term. You bring about long-term change, and that's what we see to that.
When I look at someone like Am and see the progress that she has made, that's when I know that Hands Across the Water are making a difference. That's when I know that I need to keep rallying the real estate industry to support Pete, Claire and the team at Hands Across the Water.
So where to from here? Our big focus right now is on the future employment pathways, and we're currently scoping out an agricultural training centre and a hospitality training centre, both of which will be centres that provide training opportunities, key industries in Thailand being agriculture and tourism. And those business models will also create sustainable income and revenue back into our homes. So very, very big focus is on the capital raise to be able to set those up and then working with different partners to establish training curriculums and business models, revenue streams. So how we create these two very different models with the objective to have these future pathways and create that sustainable income.
I've experienced that other side of humanity where, there's this giving without anything expecting in return. And that's probably something rarely I've seen for a long time.
There is still some good people out there.
Absolutely.
I think what we're doing with the ride just creates so much happiness. And that's why, for me, I'll continue to organise, run it as long as people want to come.
Just thank you to everyone to help the kids.
Well, thank you for doing this. So hopefully this will get lots more riders because we can tell the story of what all this is about. So then they know and they can come and meet you.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
We can't help everyone, but we can all help someone. And by being here, that's what you've done. you've made a difference to someone's life.
Whether you join for a bike ride, whether you support at one of our events, or whether you're just cheering some from the sideline, every person that hears about hands, knows about hands, helps us create these brighter futures for our kids.
Thank you, sir.
Come, Mike, you got it.
Come on, Mr. Woodward.
All right, brother.
Come on, Mr. Raff. Oh, look at this pack. Come on, guys, you got it. I got to show the suffering. Why do I think it's important to document this ride? Well, we have the ability, so that's why I went, let's do it. There's a couple of reasons. A, I really want to tell the story of Hands Across the Water. I think we can help do that in a way that people haven't seen it. And tell the story of the rides to hopefully get more people involved in the rides and challenging themselves and doing all of that. I want to be able to help them build career paths for kids, give them great opportunities that they deserve. So hopefully we're going to work something out when everyone sees this video to raise funds for Hands Across the Water while capturing stories of all of this.